The Grand 1894 Opera House, the State Opera House of Texas. The Grand 1894 Opera House is known today as the official State Opera House of Texas. Although the Grand is the oldest continually operating opera house in Texas, it was not the state's first opera house. The first official opera house in Texas was built in 1871 and was called the Tremont. This was one of the predecessors to the Tremont House Hotel that is currently located on Mechanic Street. At the time, Galveston had a booming population and a growing desire for entertainment. This first opera house was located at the corner of Tremont and Market Street. Throughout the late 1800s, as the population grew and Galveston became known as a fine metropolitan city, the island became the home of multiple opera houses. The opera house we see today on Post Office Street was built as the Grand Hotel and Opera House. In order to give you an idea of how much the community supported the building of this opera house, initial investors were able to raise over $100,000 in only one day. Construction began in 1894 and held its opening performance on January 3, 1895. The Grand's architecture is Romanesque Revival. The theater was designed to seat over 1,000 audience members, with none of them over 70 feet from the stage. People came to Galveston from out of town to see performances in this theater, just as people do today. Although it's been met with disasters such as hurricanes and pandemics, the Grand has been continually operating in some capacity since 1895, including being converted into a movie house in the mid to late 1900s. In 1974, the Grand was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. The Grand can claim a long list of notable performers and entertainers that span over a century. Currently, the Grand is operated as a non-profit performing arts theater. During the show season, the performance calendar is jam-packed. If you happen to be on the island during one of these performances, be sure to check out the absolutely stunning interior of the Grand 1894 Opera House. And if you're walking around downtown, be sure to check out the Opera House on Post Office Street, in between 20th and 21st Street. For more information on this topic or another audio guide, be sure to check out the description below.